Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pro Bowl of the GGBFL. Kidding, no one cares about that. We're gonna look at the roster really quick, but it is time for the Super Bowl that's gonna be played between the Commanders and the Steelers. We better get it on. Pause if needed. All right, quick look at the NFC roster and the AFC roster for the Pro Bowl. You have Derek Carr, Jordan Love, Trevor Lawrence, Desmond Ridder, Patrick Mahomes, Joey Burrow, Derrick Henry. I got QB1 and running back 1, and I still didn't make the Super Bowl. I hate myself. Christian McCaffrey, Nick Chubb, Austin Eckler, Najee Harris, Antonio Gibson. Shout out to the Bengals. That is the lowest rated player I've seen so far on this with an 81 overall. I don't really care or know who these fullbacks are. Ricard, Kyle Juszczyk's on there. Jarvis Landry's wide receiver number 1. Olave, Hopkins, Duvernay, AJ Brown, Trent Sherfield, former Carolina Panther at one point. Keenan Allen, Thielen, DJ Moore, McCole Hardman. You can see, we're not going to go over all these, but it's really cool to see the Pro Bowl roster and see how everybody's really adapted, got their guys going. Some teams have more than others. I'm just going to say that. But this is your look at the Pro Bowl roster to see if one of your people happen to be on there. Maybe it's from one of your teams. Maybe you care about one of the people in the GGBFL. There's a lot of really cool talent. Wow. Nakobe Dean might be the lowest rated player I've seen outside of fullback that actually got on here. Middle linebacker number 1 is Nakobe Dean. That is an absolute incredible achievement there. Wow. We see W. Gay get there as well, a 75, a lot of 76, 75, 78s. A lot of 70s were really playing their way out this season, which is really cool. Jesse Bates III getting on there, Darnell Savage, Andre Sisco, who had a great year as well in the GGBFL. And then we see Cam Akers, Cordero Patterson, Fuller, and then Tolbert Gettinger, kick returner and punt returner. Special teams matters. Now, before we look at the awards for the actual GGBFL, there is one thing that I want to allow everyone to get a breaking news situation here. We got breaking news. We have a Mervin McMervin MVP final tally countdown that we're about to share with you right now, and I'm excited for you to see who won. This is a physical trophy, and basically how the Mervin McMervin MVP works is that each week we vote all the owners, so 32 people, we all vote and say, okay, the players of the week in Madden were these people. They each have an individual vote they can cast for a particular player from that week, and we take all of those votes and we add them up to get a top 7 category list. And then from that top 7 list of each of those players, we then allow the owners to then do a final vote to give plus 16 votes to one of those individual people. Plus 16 was what we came up with because that's half of the league. So you're getting sort of half of the vote sort of added back on. So we did the vote and the individual that won that got plus 16. And I am going to now give you the top 5, starting from 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1 of the Mervin McMervin MVP standings. The last person I read off will be the Mervin McMervin MVP for year 1. At number 5 in the Mervin McMervin MVP standings, we have Damian Harris of the Buffalo Bills. At number 4 of the Mervin McMervin MVP status, we have Najee Harris of the San Francisco 49ers. At number 3 of the Mervin McMervin MVP standings, we have Deebo Samuel of the Seattle Seahawks. At number 2 of the Mervin McMervin MVP status, we have Derrick Henry of the Carolina Panthers. And I am proud to reveal the first ever Mervin McMervin MVP of the GGBFL. Ladies and gentlemen, Najee Johnson of the Houston Texans is going to walk away with the award. We're proud of you. Congratulations. Trophy will be in the mail to you soon. So the actual awards that are in Madden, you have Desmond Ridder winning the MVP of the GGBFL with Malik Willis finishing 2nd, Derrick Henry 3rd. Coach of the year goes to just a handsome gentleman, just a handsome gentleman. In the AFC, we're going to see Javonte Williams take home your offensive player of the year. We're going to see the defensive player of the year go to Kaiser White of the Buffalo Bills. Your offensive rookie of the year goes to Desmond Ridder. Your defensive rookie of the year goes to the Mervin McMervin MVP, Najee Johnson. You'll see your best quarterback go to Desmond Ridder. Apparently there was no one, and they said, well, think about that. The best running back will go to Josh Jacobs. The best wide receiver goes to Chris Olave. The best offensive lineman goes to Chris Lindstrom. The best D lineman goes to Brian Burns. The best linebacker, Kazir White. Your best DB goes to Marcus Peters. The best kicker, because they matter, Tyler Bass of the Denver Broncos. And then the NFC, your offensive player of the year is going to be Derrick Henry. Your defensive player of the year is going to be Ed Oliver. So we kind of cleaned up on both sides of the ball there. Offensive rookie of the year goes to Kenneth Walker III, who was incredible this season, just being out Malik Willis. Aiden Hutchinson, though, does get it for the Washington Commanders on the defensive side of the year for rookie of the year. Best quarterback goes to Malik Willis. Your best running back goes to Derrick Henry. Your best wide receiver goes to DeAndre Hopkins. Best O-lineman goes to Zach Martin. Best D-lineman goes to Ed Oliver. Best linebacker goes to TJ Watt of the Seattle Seahawks. Best DB goes to Jordan Whitehead of the Philadelphia Eagles. Your best kicker, because they're people too, goes to Daniel Carlson. And then there's one last look at the bracket. Again, we were battling it out. I lost my game to the Commanders by 4 with a last-second touchdown, which kind of skewed that. It was a little bit more than 4 before that. You see the 49ers beat out the Lions. The 49ers lose big time to the Washington Commanders 40-3 in the NFC Championship. And then in the AFC Championship, you're going to see the Steelers just do the same thing that you saw the Commanders do on their side, 41-10 against the Chargers. So now we have the Washington Commanders, the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's Super Bowl time, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the opening kickoff of the GGBFL. Let's get it. And no one's going to return it. It's fine. All right, we have the first play of the GGBFL. Malik Willis says, hold on, buddy. I'm going for the QB draw up the middle, and he immediately picks up 15. Little adjustment here. Little play action fake. Has a couple of guys. He goes for the check down. What a beautiful catch by Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's going to pick up what looks to be another first down. Willis this time, another play action fake. Has not run it with his actual running back, but he goes for a nice throw down the sideline. And Malik Willis is out here looking like a Super Bowl champion right now. Big third down here. This could be a field goal or it could be a nice little opportunity for a touchdown. He's got a guy deep in the end zone. He's going to throw this over the top. It's going to be too far thrown. So on a big 4th and 8, looks like the Commanders going to settle for a field goal. All right, Commanders lineup should be a pretty much guaranteed shot. That one is up. That is down the middle. We have our first lead of the game with Washington going up 3-0. Pittsburgh honestly looked pretty good on defense to start, but how's that offense going to look? Not a great first carry. Back to the line. Mac Jones for the Pittsburgh Steelers trying to do what literally everybody thought he could not do, which is win a Super Bowl. No one thought Mac Jones would win a Super Bowl as the starting quarterback for that team. Josh Jacobs going right back to the run, and he gets a much better effort here. 3rd and short. Jones, quick little out route, beautiful play, and we're going to see Drake London get a nice gain to get the first. The Steelers also brought the Commanders owner into the league after the Commanders owner was banned for throwing a game. The Commanders owner was literally throwing games. It's banned from the league. Said he had the worst roster in the league. The new Commanders owner comes in again, brought in by KKS. And they are finding themselves matched up in the Super Bowl. It is a literal match that nobody thought was going to happen before these two guys came in. And now that they're here, we're seeing it live in action. Little under 3.5 minutes left here in the first quarter. Mac Jones dropping back. Only guy there. Throws one. That's a risky one. He's going to see Justin Jefferson catch that one in a tough man-to-man coverage. Inside the red zone for the first time today, the Steelers looking to get back in there so they can take the lead. A beautiful ball thrown. That is... I thought it was picked off, but you know what you got to do. If you got Justin Jefferson, he's got to throw it up sometimes and let him go make a play. Washington down for the first time. Gets his ball off David Montgomery. Montgomery is looking for something, and he gets it about 4. Montgomery takes another handoff. Huge running lanes. Tries to get to the outside, but Pittsburgh picks him up pretty quick. Oh, and our first injury of the game. Folarunshu Fatu. I don't know how to say his name, but he's injured. These are two teams that really know how to do it. Balls if needed. That is a big drop, though. Corey Davis couldn't bring that one in. Malik Willis 2 for 5 so far today. Malik Willis is going to take this one for another run. His last one went for a pretty good gain. This one goes for another good gain as he gets what looks to be almost a first down, but it's 13 inches. Washington knows he got to get something here. Nice play action. He goes out of that one quickly. He's got a guy in the sideline, throws it, and that is going to be... They say he brought it in and got both feet down. Play action game has been super strong for Washington so far. He's got a guy open on the sideline. He throws it a little crazy, a little high, but it's going to be a first down as they get 20. Washington again driving down the field. They got a big opportunity. One-on-one coverage. They're going deep. That one is going to be mossed. Amon-Ra St. Brown says, let me get that one. And Washington retakes the lead. 17-point score so far here in the first quarter. Mac Jones going up deep. He's got Justin Jefferson with his X Factor. He catches the bobble. Are you kidding me? And Jefferson is going to go to the house. Da-da-da. Da-da-da. Oh my God. What's been really interesting is that coming into the Super Bowl, there's been a lot of talk from the Steelers head coach that Justin Jefferson is not going to be here more than likely in the offseason. Are they going to trade him even after the performance he's had so far with 2 touchdowns early in this game? Malik Willis here feels the pressure off the edge, unloads one deep. Curtis Samuel tries to go up for that one. He's not. Tariq Woolen, all 6'4" of him, one of the few players not on the block for the Steelers coming into the offseason, gets that ball back at the end of the first quarter. And that's great field position for the Steelers, who are already up 4. Pittsburgh right back to the run game, which is smart. Oh my God, Josh Jacobs, who is now a 97 overall in the GGBFL, continues to have a great game. Blitz comes from Washington. Jones doesn't feel really any of the pressure, and it's a diving interception by J.C. Jackson, who in my opinion has been the best defensive player in the playoffs so far. Multiple interceptions. He probably is sitting close to 10 in just the playoffs. Incredible player. Willis now, the momentum back on his side, tries to throw one that is completely thrown in uncharacteristic fashion for him. Willis goes here again, the play action. He's been crucial with that. He's got 2 guys in his face. He throws one over the top, and Curtis Samuel just has to be Usain Bolt to catch that one. Drops back a little bit far. Pump fakes, and he pump fakes too much because he gets a huge pressure off the edge for Max Crosby, who is also having a fantastic playoff. Callaway's going to field this one. Got some opportunities here. Gets about 7-8 yards in that return, but we'll see what Pittsburgh does with the ball now. Last time out, Mac Jones throws an interception, so they go right back to the run game, which is the best thing they could have done. And Josh Jacobs is just killing it. Over 20 yards on that run. He's sitting at 40 on the afternoon. Ball security has to be top of mind right now if you're Pittsburgh. You're doing very well in this game. You've shown that you can absolutely match up with the Commanders, but this run game is unbelievable. The Commanders are struggling to lock it up. Much as we're talking about Josh Jacobs, hats off to the offensive line of the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're doing any and everything they can to make sure big lanes are open up for their guy here. Third straight run for Pittsburgh. Doesn't go really as well as the other ones, but it is still a positive gain of 3. And Isaiah Wynn now goes down for Pittsburgh, their second offensive lineman, I believe, to get hurt this game. No sign of Josh Jacobs this time. We got a spelled halfback in the backfield. 2 wide receivers out to the right. 1 split out to the left far side. This one goes to Edwards. Edwards with all the room to run in the world. Looks like Gus Edwards here, not the fastest in the world. And if he had maybe been Josh Jacobs, that could have been a touchdown. But Josh Jacobs over there is probably getting oxygen. Inside the 12-yard line right now. This is not where you want to be if you're Washington. But your back's against the wall. You just got to lock up and make sure that you do not allow them to get a touchdown. A field goal is fine, but a touchdown is not good. And this one is going to Justin Jefferson, who not 1, not 2, but I believe 3 touchdowns on the afternoon. The front runner for your Super Bowl MVP is right there. All the momentum in the world is going towards Pittsburgh. This is going to make it a little bit more tough for Washington to really pass the football. You notice they come out with a run, trying to get some of that momentum back. Malik Willis again in shotgun, has all of his guys spread out, throws a little dump down pass. That one is knocked away. Pittsburgh again remains in the driver's seat. Crucial third down here. Washington does not want to go 3 and out yet again here. Malik Willis again makes a couple of options. He's got a guy going across the mid, finds him right open here to Monroe St. Brown, and St. Brown hits a spin move that doesn't really do much, but it looked fancy. No huddle kicks in for Washington now. They know they want to get down the field and quick and keep Pittsburgh in a defense that maybe they don't want to be in right now. Willis again, guys across the middle, throws one. It's going to be risky, and you're going to see George Kittle go up and get that one and runs for days as he fights his way down to the 35-yard line. Willis looking much more like he did earlier in the playoffs. He is looking unstoppable at this point. It's the reason why he was up for so many different awards, including the best quarterback of season 1. Under 3 minutes now, Willis again driving Washington down the field. Looks like he has George Kittle open again, and Kittle is going to haul that one in against Davis and breaks a tackle, breaks 2 tackles, but he fumbles, and Pittsburgh is going to recover. Sometimes you have to get down, and George Kittle wanted to be a warrior, but instead he lost the fight. Unbelievable situation right now. Pittsburgh has had just their head on, locked in, ready to go in this game, and if they get more points here, that is crucial. 2-minute warning coming up after this play. Pittsburgh knows they can get this one off, and then they have, again, a little play stoppage here. He floats one that is tough, that is underthrown by Mac Jones, which is something that we're used to seeing. He laterals it back to get a couple extra yards here. McBride ends up getting the tackle. But what a crazy play and then also risky play by Washington, but I think it got him a couple extra yards. Willis back pretty much where he was before the last drive stalled. He's got Montgomery out of the backfield. The wheel route is going to be beautiful. He's got the touchdown, and this lead went from being crazy in Pittsburgh's favor to all of a sudden Washington is going to cut the lead to 4 here with 2 minutes left in the first half. Mac Jones is going to hand this one off to Josh Jacobs, who's got plenty of room. He's finding ways to get through. Some of these gaps aren't even that crazy, but Josh Jacobs and the Steelers are finding ways to push forward. 2nd and 1, Pittsburgh, still 2 timeouts right now. They hand the ball off to Josh Jacobs, who again is fighting for his bread. Another 4 or 5 yards here to get a positive gain. Mac Jones lining up here. Looks like gun tight. Josh Jacobs trying to get to the outside, but Washington is going to chase him down, forcing Pittsburgh to use their 2nd timeout. Only 1 remaining. Jones on 2nd and 11 in an empty set. Throws one. Looks like a little comeback route here. Jefferson gets the first down, but there is a flag on the play. Remember, Pittsburgh does have a couple of guys in there that aren't used to being there, but Dwayne Brown, the veteran, ends up getting the penalty. Pittsburgh now has Dan Feeney getting injured. Pittsburgh, while they had the momentum, the injuries, the penalties are starting to pile up for him. 2nd and 21 is not where you want to be. It's an empty gun set here. It's like 1 high safety. Mac Jones sits in the pocket, has Justin Jefferson streaking, and Jefferson is going to go up and get it. And now Pittsburgh is in field goal range with 1 timeout and a minute remaining. 31 seconds in a dream. Josh Jacobs takes the carry. It's like Pittsburgh might be playing it a little bit safe here. They call their last timeout, which is risky with 27 seconds left. Jones again, the only guy in the backfield here, trying to spread Washington out wide. Hutchinson, though, looking to come off that edge. That is a risky ball that is nearly picked and then caught by Pittsburgh immediately after. 3rd and 11. Mac Jones has Justin Jefferson in double coverage, throws that one. That was actually triple coverage, nearly intercepted, but it does fall down on the turf. So we're going to see what looks to be a field goal lined up here for Pittsburgh. 2 passes that could have been picked off that could have changed the tide of this game. Is going to lead them back to a field goal, which should be, again, fairly easy. Looking at about a 51-yarder here for Myers. Should be able to drill that one. That one is up. That one is going to be good. And Pittsburgh now, with 14 seconds left in the half, is going to have a 7-point lead once again. Washington here, 14 seconds left in the first half, down 7. Obviously looking at a passing situation. They're going to have a guy open here in Davis, and Corey Davis is going to get out of bounds with 8 seconds left. 8 seconds left in his dream here. Malik Willis, you have to imagine, is looking at his team in field goal range. A field goal would be huge here. He's taking way too much time. That is a risky ball that's going to be picked off by Jackson. Kareem Jackson's going to have this one in his hands. He needs to break some ankles here. He's not. There is a flag on the play, though. That one's going to be holding against Washington, which will nullify and end the half. Crazy little ending there. Washington had an opportunity to maybe bounce back, get that field goal, but they aren't able to. But at least they stopped Pittsburgh and that massive lead they were on the verge of having. The Commanders coming out with a bold strategy. You are allowed one onside kick. That's not in sort of the fourth quarter, and he goes for it, doesn't get it back, try to catch KKS slipping. And KKS said, nah, I'm watching you. So Mac Jones now gifted wonderful field position, hands it off to Josh Jacobs, who has just been running wild, finds a lane out on the left-hand side, has a guy in front, jukes him out so bad, stiff arms him and says, get off me, little boy, and he's now inside the red zone after one play. I understand what the Commanders are probably thinking there, get with the surprise onside kick, maybe have an opportunity to get it, but it pays off because the Commanders are going to pick off Mac Jones, and Foyesado Lukin is not going to be caught. He is one of the fastest linebackers in the game. He is going to go straight to the house. Shout out to Trick Daddy, and we have a tie ball game here in the Super Bowl. Here in the third quarter, it's a spicy game. We're tied up all at 24. Pittsburgh has the ball back. A couple of turnovers by Mac Jones and definitely put Pittsburgh in a rough situation. Across the middle, though, is Justin Jefferson, who is looking to get his X factor back. He hasn't had that for a minute. Justin Jefferson really has been the offense. He has 8 receptions for 200 yards right now, which is absolutely leading Pittsburgh and pretty much everybody in this game for total yardage. And Pittsburgh does not like what they see. You're going to see a big-time adjustment here with the play clock winding down. Jacobs comes back into the backfield here. Jones finds something, loves the defensive formation that he saw. I think he saw him maybe in a dime or a nickel and said, I'm going to go ahead and try to run that right up the middle, and it proved to be perfect for him. Pittsburgh's driving, but the one thing that has really hurt Pittsburgh today has been the turnovers by Mac Jones. I believe 3, possibly 4 interceptions on the day, one of them obviously going back to the house. It's been a rough one. Jones again making quick adjustments as the play clock winds down, hands this ball off to Josh Jacobs, who finds a lane, but I don't think it's enough. It's going to be 3rd and inches here. One of the biggest plays of the Super Bowl here, 3rd and inches. Mac Jones is going to fight for his bread, and he gets the first down, keeping this alive for a couple more plays for Pittsburgh. Washington looks like they're sitting in the cover 1. Quick little dump off pass. Josh Jacobs getting involved in the pass game, gets lit up, and they're lucky that wasn't a fumble. 2nd and 5, Jones again passing a beautiful dot here to T.Y. Hilton. You really haven't seen T.Y. Hilton or anybody else get involved in the passing game outside of Jefferson. Jefferson again is seeing about 205 yards of their 221. Clock winding down. We're now under 3 minutes left in the third quarter here. Tie ball game. Lukin brings himself to the line. Might be an offsides call here. They get the dump off here to Trey McBride, and Trey McBride is running, and he's in the end zone. I believe this is going to be offsides. It is on Foyesado Lukin. That is going to be canceled, going to be declined, and you're going to see Pittsburgh take now a 7-point lead with a beautiful dive that almost got picked off, but almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. Washington has honestly played really good. I think probably better on defense than they have on offense so far today. Despite giving up those touchdowns, they've been good. But look at the defensive play here by Pittsburgh. Uche gets in for his first sack. What a play. Washington has kind of been in chucking mode, which has kind of hurt him a little bit, not really relying on that run game, which did really well for him in that first drive or so. A big-time throw here. That one is going to be way overthrown, though, and unfortunately, that's going to make it 3rd and 19. Willis is ready to drop back. He's got a guy cross the middle wide open, nearly had that tip to the line of scrimmage, and Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to get the first down, putting him at 220 yards, finally passing Justin Jefferson as a team. Willis again, dropping back. Rolls out of the right-hand side, throws a risky one to the sideline, and George Kittle is there. What a throw, what a catch. Willis has been absolutely in the groove this drive. He's got the running back out of the backfield on the wheel route, and that was going to be overthrown. The good news is he hit the pylon. The bad news is that's not his receiver. Malik Willis again, orchestrating a lot of different stuff on the line. Pittsburgh does back up a little bit. The pressure is there, and that could have been picked off by Harmon, but what a way to adjust to the ball by David Montgomery. From the 13, they're going to go with the run. Montgomery slips around a little bit, but it doesn't really get him much. He gets a loss of 2. Willis again going to the QB run. It worked from earlier in the game. He's going back to it right here. He's trying to get to the edge. They're going to bring him down, I believe, at the 1-yard line to end the third quarter. Washington's right in the doorstep. Malik Willis has it, dumps off to a quick wide receiver screen. Davis, though, is going to get stood up, and I believe he loses a yard there. He does. 2nd and goal. Malik Willis ready for it. Has a guy in the middle. He sees him, but that's going to be dropped. That would have been a game-changing interception, but that one's going to be dropped by the Pittsburgh defender when he had his hands all over it. Big 3rd and goal. You got to wonder, does Washington go for it on 4th down if they aren't able to convert here? They're going to bring a guy over in motion. One of their favorite plays, they get him there, and if that's not zone coverage, they're going to immediately be able to torch that. What a play. They did cover 3 buzz, probably a cover 2, maybe Tampa 2 stops that. But instead, Washington is now going to line up here with an opportunity for an extra point to tie this ball game up. This one is up and good. All tied at 31. 7.5 minutes left. You don't really have to do much, but if you chew a little bit of clock, you're good. And what a catch by Trey McBride, who was so big in the last round, getting that touchdown. He comes up huge here. Jones again, looking for an adjustment, runs a zig route on the outside, throws a risky one. I don't know how that was not intercepted, but it had enough oomph on it to get there. Washington bringing a lot of guys to the line. Josh Jacobs, who we haven't really seen much of in the last drive or so, comes right back. 120 plus on the ground. They're obviously wanting the first down. They're going to get the first down. The field goal is something they have to think about later, not right now, because it is a great play to get him a first. Jones again. Has a guy right down the seam. T.Y. Hilton, the Indianapolis Colts legend, gets an opportunity here in the Super Bowl with Pittsburgh, and man, does he show up big. What a dot. Little run here by David Montgomery. He's going to get stood up pretty quickly, but again, Washington wants to get down the field and score and not give Pittsburgh a lot of time. That's the key here. Washington here with the play action. Play action has been huge for them. A lot of pressure coming off that left side. Malik Willis running. No shot. He throws that when he does. Luckily for him, it goes nowhere close to anyone, because that could have been a risky play. This game has that feeling that it's just going to come down to the wire, or maybe we see somebody from Pittsburgh make a huge play here to change the tide of the game. Willis finds the underneath route, a little overthrown there, but Corey Davis is able to get that one. Big run here for David Montgomery. A lot of opportunities in front of him. He's going to try to stretch this one a little bit. He's got one guy to possibly get to him, and no one is going to get to Montgomery. Montgomery is going to go all the way to the house. What a huge play. That is roughly a 62-yard play to the house that ties things back up here. For Pittsburgh, you're sitting here with 4 minutes left in the game. You got to know, you run the football, you chew some clock. Even a field goal, if you score late enough, is going to be okay. 2 running backs set. Jacobs trying to find some lanes here, but again, Washington knows they want to run that clock, and they're going to force Pittsburgh to throw the football. Pittsburgh wants to make sure that if they can't complete something, they don't want to turn it over here. An unbelievable play. Trey McBride coming up so big here in the 4th quarter. He's had multiple plays that have kept Pittsburgh right in this game and on top in most instances. A run to Josh Jacobs is the perfect play call. A nice little shifty move, and he picks up what looks to be about 7. 2nd and 3. Obviously, you got to imagine the handoffs are coming for Josh Jacobs. He gets what looks to be 1 yard. It's a big 3rd and 2 again. 3rd and short. We've seen Trey McBride been huge on these 3rd downs. We see a handoff to Gus Edwards. Edwards, though, was only able to get 1, and now Pittsburgh has a huge decision to make. Now, the Pittsburgh Steelers did consult us. They wanted to make sure they could go for it on 4th down. Obviously, in this situation, 4th quarter, under 2 minutes left, Super Bowl, yes, you are perfectly allowed to go for it on 4th down here. It's a major 4th and 1. He has no one on Justin Jefferson right now. If he runs a streak route, this might be wide open. He's got Jefferson. He goes that exact play, and Jefferson's going to haul it in and then some. He's down to the 10-yard line. Washington now 3 timeouts. They're opting to not use any at this point, which is going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Handoff here to Josh Jacobs. Jacobs fighting for his bread. He's going to push forward. He's going to get potentially down after falling on a couple of people, and it's 2nd and goal with not a lot of time left. Josh Jacobs' play is really what you want to do, and way to break that tackle. Washington using their 2nd timeout here. 13 seconds left in the game. Jones, like he's changing the side he wants to go to. Jacobs is not going to get in, though. What do? You have to imagine he takes the points here on the 1-yard line. What could be the trolliest thing in the world? We have seen KKS from the Pittsburgh Steelers do a fake field goal before, but he's going to opt to take the points here with 6 seconds left. Washington has to pull off a miracle. Malik Willis, best quarterback of the year in the GGBFL, has an opportunity. Pittsburgh Steelers running 3-man deep. Well, he has one more opportunity. It's going to be an incomplete pass there. With all the momentum on Pittsburgh's side, Washington does need to get a touchdown here because they have no timeouts and an eternity to go. This is for the game, for the Super Bowl. Malik Willis drops back, only a 3-man rush for Pittsburgh. Willis is an absolute cannon. There's a couple of guys here. He's going to offer the check down. Not a lot of guys behind him, though. He does go for what was supposed to be a miracle play, and instead it is going to be picked up by Max Crosby, who had a crucial play earlier in this game. Gets a bookend for it here as he gets the fumble recovery. And ladies and gentlemen, the first ever Super Bowl champion of the GGBFL is going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers, the best team in the real NFL. Mac Jones is a Mac Jones is a starting Super Bowl champion. Words that I honestly never thought that I would hear. So much drama on this Pittsburgh Steelers team. Again, and a head coach that ended up leaving this team, abandoning them. The Steelers get a new owner, a new coach in KKS, and he leads this team to the Super Bowl against the Commanders, a guy that he recommended to bring in and take over another coach that had abandoned their franchise. So much drama. We had the Justin Jefferson rumors of Justin Jefferson potentially being traded in the offseason by the Steelers. Josh Jacobs reportedly on the block. Will we see these guys stay on this team now that they helped this team win? Justin Jefferson had over 200 plus receiving yards in this game, which is massive. But we saw Trey McBride. We saw Jacobs kill it in the run game with 125 plus on the ground. Hats off to the Commanders, though. They played incredible. Their defensive effort was legendary. Malik Willis looked a little bit more human, I would say, in this game than he had in previous ones. But it was an incredible effort across the board. Phenomenal from both sides. Congrats to the Pittsburgh Steelers. We have a live report from the Pittsburgh Steelers head coach / owner saying everyone is still on the block. Despite Justin Jefferson's effort, maybe his stock is rising because he could be up out of here.